It is a It is a Wednesday evening when I am filming. It is a rare occurrence when I am filming in the evening, but I am. Lester is right over there at his podium, at his area, at his...
What the hell is this?
I speak jive.
Will you stop?
As God is my witness, I thought turkeys could fly.
They think they got the answers. I change the questions.
You don't like it? We don't care.
What a dumb thing to do. I bet you wouldn't have done anything like this if Mom and Dad were here.
The recognized symbol of excellence in
dramatic comedy. Friends, welcome in. You know who I am. I'm not gonna say it. Of course I am. It's Colin from Canada. Lester is off camera. You know what we create. Do I have to say it? Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk. We're dropping episode 26 all up in your area. Let's get it going here. Good coffee is always free. I don't know why. I like the movie. I don't know why I have the poster. When I was at the video store, it was kind of like, well, it's free, so I'm going to take it. Charlie Wilson's War. Just Philip Seymour Hoffman is all you need. Much like Along Came Polly.
Let it ride!
Philip Seymour Hoffman. It's all you need. The AmCan Connection, the single greatest tag team walking the earth today, along with my tag team partner, Jason Up, over at the... I am the king of YouTube. Lester told me so. Switch hands. That is the pen. Don't. Wow, I used to be good at this. It's taped. Hello, guys. How you doing? Gals, ladies, gentlemen, the elderly, the young, the middle-aged, the sad, the happy, the annoyed, the... That's the second time that poster has done that, and I'm gonna tell you why. You wanna know why it's doing that? Because this tape is probably from 1982, okay? This was in the back. My boss never gets rid of anything. This tape is dung. Dung as in poo-poo. We're leaving it. We're leaving it in. Because you know what the movie is? I don't give a crap if it's... Okay. I gotta... This is we're calm. Unless we're shooting a promo, Colin from Canada is calm. But I'm wearing a toque. The air conditioning is on, but I've filmed this welcome about 10 times, and this is the one we're going with. Hello. It's a medium coffee. I will explain in a moment why. We're gonna open that in a second. It's a large one of those, though, and Dr. Zeus is ready for the contents. Let's get a good sound this week. Oh, that was a quick one. The reason I have a medium coffee as opposed to a large coffee is it is Wednesday, 10:47 in the PM, Eastern Standard Time, when I'm usually recording in the afternoon. Now, I don't mind drinking coffee at night because my sleeping, it doesn't affect me. But I thought I'm gonna be having Diet Coke later on when I get home, so I don't wanna, it makes sense in my head, but maybe not to you, okay? Let's finish that up. That whole can is in there, ladies and gentlemen, and we have to get the lid on the Dr. Zeus tumbler. The holes are open. That is some lovely elixir. Guys, it's episode 26. I already said it, but let's get to some particulars. Men's Toes returns this episode. Those that were dying for something else from my collection of collections, you're gonna like it. Lynn Riddell is back and she is staying for good. Do you want to learn conversational Scottish one sentence at a time? You are watching the right program, okay? And there's been a little added supplement to the 5 VHS of the week. I think you know what I'm going to throw down. That's going to be the first segment. We're going to get to that in a second. How's everybody doing out there? Is everybody good? Is everybody comfortable? Because you're in for a ride here, guys. I'm going to remind you guys at the start of the show and at the end of this show, next week's episode will be a best of, And the following week will be a best of the bloopers. So, because I am camping with my girlfriend and, throw it up, living legend, John Riddell, my father. So like I said, next week will be a best of using the montages. The montages we made for the Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's 10th anniversary Good Junk 10th anniversary extravaganza spectacular, as well as the montages made for the Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk 20th anniversary extravaganza spectacular. Those will be put together. I've also added a montage for the 10th anniversary show, a montage for the 20th anniversary show, and montages up until this very episode. Does that make sense? That's next week. Best of montages, you're gonna love it. Then the following week, we're taking the bloopers from all the episodes and cobbling them together for a best of the bloopers, because I won't be able to film an actual episode. Although I would love to, but I think my girlfriend might have something to say about it if I want to film an episode when we're camping. I'm sorry, guys. We'll cover that again. I'll remind you guys at the end of the episode, those that are still with me. But let me tell you something. I've said it before. You take my hand, okay, and we start walking down this path, okay? If you're in the driver's seat, you're going to enjoy the whole thing. Everything's quick. Nothing's boring. All of it. Do you know what it is? We've said it before. It's good junk, okay? And we're going to get started right now. I think so, Lester. Do you think so? I like that welcome. After the 9 previous welcomes, I think I hit that one out of the park. Was that a great swing? I don't know what I'm doing. Let's do it.
Golden opportunity here for one Paul Orndorff. This is what he wanted. This is what he got.
Friends, early on, the filming is not cooperating, but we, myself and Lester, are pushing forward. The overwhelming response to my question last week during the introduction to now the other thing's gone. Now the other one's, we're leaving it. The overwhelming response to my question that I posed to all of you last week during the 5 VHS from my collection introduction, the response just floored me. I was taken aback and I was nearly brought to, I was not. Nobody responded, okay? Okay? I said in the welcome, we have to stay calm, people. Because I'm wearing a toque inside and I'm sweating profusely, getting a little heated under the collar, I think you know what that means. It's been a while. It's been a real long while, but I'm sorry, my friends, and you are my friends, and so is that man right there, but you don't even think about stopping me. I've already started. Throw it up there, it's promo time. Let me tell you something, boys and girls. Last week, we posed the question, where did John Riddell first get a membership to rent VHS movies in the city of Mississauga in the mid-'80s? And how many people responded? Do you want me to tell you what number that is? Goose egg! That's what number that is. Goose egg! Nobody responded. So let me tell you something. I'm going to keep repeating that question each time we introduce 5 VHS from my collection. And if you guys were as smart as all the other commenters in the world, you wouldn't dare answer. And you would let me go on and on and on with heated promos each week during the introduction to 5 VHS from my collection. And God damn it, you know I will. Because there's hundreds in here, thousands in here. It's from in here and it comes out here. It's the love of wrestling that lets me know when the wheels start turning, there's no stopping the choo-choo train called Colin from Canada's Good Junk promo time. But seriously, guys, where did my dad first start renting movies in Mississauga? It's not a video store, and you can only find this place in Canada. They are still in Canada. Comment below. Power karate. Hunks with hats. Tai Chi for arthritis. Stretching to the classics. Friends, that was a hell of an introduction. We have them right here. And we have something over there. We're going to get to that in a second. Right in the door, Carl Weathers is Hurricane Smith, okay? There's nothing calm at the eye of this hurricane. 1990. Okay? The Incredible Melting Man. Just look at that guy. Is that? Pass the stuffing. Can you pass the stuffing? No, I told you his name was Billy. Is his name Billy? Steve. His name's Steve. Should I do the whole joke again? Steve! Mom, I told you his name was Steve. When you ask him to pass the stuffing, just call him Steve. Don't be afraid of... Okay. Night of the Demons. Another Cineplex Odeon release. We covered that a few episodes back. In a few episodes would mean in future episodes. I'm on a roll, guys. The caffeine is starting to jingle jangle. House 2, The Second Story. That's a lovely play on words. Okay? And then finally, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Sabaki World Championship Tournament Full Contact Karate. You know how I like to say it, karate. Now you're probably wondering, Colin, why didn't you read any of the descriptions? I know. Why didn't I read any of the descriptions? Because I got to get to 5 DVDs from the collection. Project Grizzly. Watch the glare, Colin. Have you heard of this one, folks? Documentary, Canadian man. He's created a suit that will withstand a bear attack. I will repeat that. This is a documentary about a Canadian man who made a suit that could withstand a bear attack. Okay? Please Don't Eat My Mother from Something Weird Video. I'm just realizing that if we're doing the DVDs, there's a hell of a glare from the above lighting, so we have to be careful here, folks. Operation Delta Force 5, Random Fire. Leslie Nielsen presents Stupid Little Golf Video. Thank you very much. And we're finishing up with a Dollarama purchase. Kevin Sorbo, Flesh Wounds. And I'm looking on the back here. Now, just look at it real quick. Okay, we're gonna zoom in. Just look at it real quick. Buddy right there. What's the first name that comes to your mind? Charles Barkley. Exactly, I told you. We didn't really read the descriptions, and judging by the amount of time I have left, or that's already elapsed, I probably could have, but how do you like 5 VHS and as a bonus 5 DVDs from the collection? Because you saw the pile of VHS, the DVDs are probably double that pile. So, I think we're gonna add DVDs to it. That was 5 VHS from the collection, as well as 5 DVDs.
Tito Santana has mastered the figure 4 leg lock.
Lester, we know she works at the food barn. We know there is limited time to get off from that very demanding job. I have compared her to a free-form jazz musician. I have told you that my love and admiration for her grows weekly. And this mustache is really bugging me right now. Getting to my point. I guess it's time for Cheryl's appearance on the program this week, and I hope that she touches you in a way that brings your heart to a standstill.
You have no idea who knows me. I'm not the rancher. I got marbles here. I have 2 boobs, not 6. Do you know you have scratchy toilet paper? Ray Stevens was here with you, right? Wow, this is dated and it's an original one. Summer 2014. Whoa, why isn't this stuff done? This is 2018. You know why it's not done? Because you have the same people. When you have the same people, they get real comfortable.
Friends, hi there. It's a small to medium load. I would have to say small this week regarding the thrift store pickups, and this is the introduction to that segment. But I'm going to veer wildly off topic and bring you a great story about my boss. A lot of times, cars are left in our parking lot with no license plates and an abundance of materials inside those cars, so they are dumped here. And there was a Jaguar, or a Jaguar, as someone I know says. Jaguar. You know what I'm talking about. That brand of car was dumped in my parking lot. And the boss called the police to see what could be done about it. And I am not joking with you when I tell you that while he was on the phone with the Peel Regional Police, he cited finders keepers, losers weepers as a case for him to keep the Jaguar. Guys, it's time for this week's thrift store pickups. John Dote Hit. Dote Hit? John Dote Hit. John Dote Hit. Dote Hit. John DeHurt. Friends, it's me. Did you miss me from 3 nanoseconds ago? We're turning to the left. You know how we do it. We're going to start with the media, and it's The Last Waltz, the fine Martin Scorsese film about the band's last concert. I love the band. I have mixed feelings about members of the band. They are all now deceased. But if you like the band and you like a movie about one person in the band wanting to end the band, but the others not wanting to end the band and having a farewell concert, it's a hell of a concert. Some people that were invited by one of the members weren't really approved by the other members of the band. Levon Helm. Levon Helm was the man, okay? You probably know who I'm talking about, who the one guy is. Guys, it's getting controversial here when it's just The Last Waltz, so we're gonna stop there. That's the Blu-ray of The Last Waltz. How about 902? You see that flip? That was good. I didn't think I was gonna catch that. 90210, The Final Season. Thank you very much. I now have the entire run on DVD. Do I do my impression? Do I? I know some people already know it, but I'm gonna do it. 2 impressions very quickly, and it's only Dylan McKay, because it's the only one I can do. Anytime, oh no, there's 3. There's 3 impressions of Dylan McKay that we're gonna do here. First off, the answering machine. It's Dylan, you know the drill. Okay, thank you. Okay, I'll let the laughter subside, die down perhaps. Then there's anytime things were getting a bit rough, he had to get away for a bit. Hey, Bran, things are getting a little rough. I'm going down to Baja. Okay? You know what I'm saying? You guys know what I'm saying. And then finally, the episode where they go camping and Brandon falls off the mountain and Dylan is trying to save him. Where you at, man? Where you at? And then he finds him. Look right here, man. Look right here. Okay? When there's not a lot of thrift store pickups, you go into the Dylan McKay impression. Chuck Norris, The President's Man, #2, A Line in the Sand. I think that cover work was professionally done. Okay? Jennifer Love Hewitt, The Client List, Season 1, for $1. Okay? Those are the DVDs. These are the books. License to Drive, Mr. Anderson. Okay, I could do one-liners from here. Les, the man is intoxicated. People, stay behind the line. I'm a ticking time bomb. Okay, I'm not going to go into all of them. I'm not going to go, Archie's atomic. Come back. Okay, it's License to Drive. It's Corey Feldman. It's Corey Haim. And if we yell at Jason Knupp over at the New 80s Revolution, he's got to pop this in the VHS down in the cave, and he's got to take a gander, because we voted on it. Okay, Jason? Oh, sugar snaps. I just realized. I just said, oh, sugar snaps. I have stuff in the car. Hold on. We got to pause. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and we're going to continue the books, but I have other stuff to get to. Let's get going here. Family Circus, enjoy yourselves. You've got to be you, Snoopy. Who else can you be but you? It was fill a bag of books at one of the thrift stores, so if there's room in the bag, it has to be filled. It has to be filled. The Hardy Boys #2. I would probably collect these if, you know, they were $0.25 each, but we're not going $2 a pop on these when there's like 75 of them. Shoeless Joe by W.P. Kinsella, the novel that was turned into Field of Dreams. Can't say I have it. Fun fact, I just remembered this. I'm a bit of a writer, or I used to be, I still sort of am. But anyways, I took a writing class at Sheridan College for night school, and we had to do a book report, which I don't see really the point of in creative writing. So I read the back of the book. And did a 3-page book report on it. Got a B-. Didn't even read the book and still haven't read. Tom Segura, I'd like to play Alone, Please. Tom Segura, he's got a podcast and he's a comedian and he's not bad. He's not bad. I don't mind him. I'd just like to read a quick passage. His father passed away right before this book went to print. And just this little blurb here. Days before he passed, he asked me if I knew what happens after someone dies. What, I replied. The world goes on. So think about that. Wrestling book I don't have, Wrestling with the Devil, Lex Luger. Okay? And the reason I had to stop filming was I knew I had other stuff and I forgot to bring it over. David Carradine's Tai Chi Workout for Beginners. Have you always wanted to learn how to dance a certain dance? Well, Will Veloz, I can pronounce it, is going to teach you how to dance the Macarena. Okay? Act 1, Macarena. Act 2, A Mover la Colita. Bear with me on the pronunciation. Act 3, the Salsa. And Act 4, the Merengue. I twisted the R's there. Approximate running time, 25 minutes. Guys, you'll be done before it starts. And can we get a shot of Will Veloz? Will Veloz, okay? And your video seminar with Barbara DeAngelis, PhD, your personal workshop for understanding relationships and making them work, dare I say, sealed. Okay? She looks like she knows what she's talking about, eh? White teeth, perfect hair. Not a fan of those earrings, though. But she's going to let you know how a relationship can work for you. Last DVD, Marwin Call. This is the documentary about Mark Hogenkamp, who was portrayed by Steve Carell in Welcome to Marwin. It's a documentary about a man who was nearly beaten to death for just cross-dressing, really, in a small town where I'm assuming cross-dressing isn't accepted. Where, I mean, come on, to each their own, who gives a rat's keister. And getting to my point, he was severely injured and all his memories were erased, and he spends his time building unbelievable World War II-like models in his house, backyard, front yard, and the characters are from people in town, and it's just really amazing. So either the Steve Carell movie or the documentary, very, very, very cool. Frogger, the game, the board game, I don't think I have this, but I could be wrong, as I do have a lot. And funny enough, it's made by Ultra Pro, and for those who collected cards back in the day and still do, these were the people that made the binder pages where you could slip your cards in. Just a fun fact. Also, for Jason, over at the New 80s, to add to the Michael Jackson collection, these are packs that have broken open, but all the cards are still in there. It's the Michael Jackson cards, and for those paying close attention, if we look at the bottom, it's O-Pee-Chee, which those in America had tops. In Canada, we have O-Pee-Chee. So those are 3 packs of Michael Jackson cards from O-Pee-Chee, and that is from be nice if it said it on the pack, but it doesn't. It's from the 80s, guys. Okay, that's for Jason. And finally, a piece of clothing that just caught my eye and I really just had to get here, folks. It's a extra large long sleeve Fruity Pebbles. Fruity Pebbles number, okay? I've never had Fruity Pebbles, but I am a fan of the Flintstones, and it has Fruity Pebbles down the arm. I'll tell you what, I'll wear that in next week's episode if you ask me nicely. You don't have to ask me, I'm gonna wear it anyways. Guys, after pausing and starting again, that was this week's thrift store pickups. I hope you enjoyed.
Well, everyone's aware that Valentine put Tito Santana in a hospital, needed surgery on his right leg and knee area.
Friends, I moved the desk. Remember we talked about it last week? I've moved it a little bit. Before I was kind of like this, but now I think that's a little better. Guys, getting to my point that I haven't started yet. News is a hard-hitting, as we know, and very serious topic. News stories tug at our heartstrings. News stories bring us to tears. News stories at times make us laugh. And who brings us those news stories? The newscasters, the on-air talent, the anchor man and the anchor woman. And what is more real than the banter or talk between segments between the anchor woman and the anchor man? Folks, it's, as they say in America, it's a slice of Americana. What would the equivalent be in Canada? A hearty scoop of poutine. But let me tell you something, I'm getting to my point. It's going deep here. There is nothing more real in this world than the conversations that take place between an anchor woman and an anchor man in between news segments. There's nothing more real. Nothing.
Done something that is very good.
He was murdered.
But now he's dead.
Reach out to the man who died.
To the man.
Your mama, she's for free and everybody knows it.
She mentioned Nestor Torres. You know, he let me play his flute one time. Found out it isn't the flute that makes him sound so terrific. He has a lot of talent.
That's right, he does.
Friends, it's the introduction to the man known as a living legend, to a man known as my father, to a man known as my dad, to a man known as John Riddell when I'm speaking to him and we are in public. Folks, we took a trip down to your favorite mall and mine. I will not admit, but I could be running the Twitter account. I've talked about it before. We went to the Westdale Mall looking for shoe polish, and I brought the camera, and we filmed. Okay, folks? Friends, I'm going to extend the introduction to John Riddell, living legend, a little longer because I need to regale you with a very true story about John Riddell, living legend. Every off year, my girlfriend and I spend New Year's with my parents. So one year it's with friends, the next year it's with John Riddell, Lynn Riddell, at the Riddell estate. And we have a couple of soda pops, and we have some appetizers that my dad buys more than enough of from M&M's meat shops. Don't know if that's a Canadian thing, but we're gonna throw it up there. They make some good stuff, guys. Any hoot, we play the board games, and sometimes we play games with trivia. And the trivia question was posed to one John Riddell, living legend, as such. What does a Las Vegas blackjack dealer stand on? My dad said, the carpet.
How much is in butter? How much is in butter? How much is in butter?
Ladies and gentlemen, Colin from Canada, John Riddell to my left. We are in the single greatest mall of all time. You know, the Westdale Mall. We're about to approach the shoe repair master because we're looking for shoe polish. More later. Friends, Colin from Canada here, John Riddell to my right now, and we've obtained the much elusive black shoe polish. Is that correct, Dad?
Yeah.
Okay. Whoa. Friends, I've taken my own advice and taken the time to take at least 5 photos in 1 week. Can you take 5 photos in 1 week? Yes, you can, Colin. And for proof, let's go through my camera roll and 5 photos that I took this last week. Dry cleaning movies, mushrooms on toast. Just a couple of horses' asses. Electric pressure cooker, urinating, Passion fruit chest cake, Charles Barkley. Friends, the party's started. The music has already started. The drinks have been poured. Appetizers are going quickly. So let's begin. Oh, what is this? What the? 5 photos from the camera roll. I do not have to turn to the right. I have the details right here. Photo number 1. You've gone to McDonald's and you're having a light snack, possibly your dinner, because you're filming a very important video for your friends on YouTube. And you order a McDouble. You get to the car, you open it up, and it looks like that. And then you say to yourself, Colin, they're just kids. McDonald's employs the youth. They're just children. Yeah. Photo number 2, Johnny and I went back to the ear guy, AKA David Schwimmer. We're gonna throw up a clip real quick.
Unless you take out the wire, then you so.
You guys remember. This is one of his machines that he uses? This is one of the machines that he uses. It's called the irrigator. I thought that was hilarious, so. Oh, also, let me pause here. If anybody knows why my photo lens is shaking on my iPhone, please let me know, because this camera is working, but the one on the back is shaky. Anybody home? A bit of a backstory before I put up photo number 3. The girlfriend and I were out to dinner at Eastside Mario's this week, and upon arrival, we were told that there would be a 20-minute wait. I was rather apprehensive about staying, but my girlfriend convinced me by saying, we're staying. So we waited, and upon entering and noticing the restaurant, there were a lot of empty tables, but there was food, dirty dishes on the table. There was 3 separate parties ahead of me. So now there's 4 people, 4 parties waiting, including mine. And I counted 5 tables that all you had to do was clear the plates off of, okay? Moving forward, we were finally seated after 25 to 30 minutes. The server was dynamite. Dynamite server, just the rest was a bit of a shit show. Upon leaving, I took this photo as well as this photo. These 2 tables were 2 of the 5 tables that still had plates on them when we were leaving. So let's package it all together. We got there, 4 parties waiting, 5 tables need to be cleared off, and could have been. An hour and a half later, those 2 tables still hadn't had their plates cleared, and the entire time we were there was waiting parties waiting to be seated. Kitchen manager just walking around. The most he did was he took dirty plates off a 2-seater and put it on an 8-seater. I wanted to get the man's photo, and I was going to, and that would have been awesome for this video, but my girlfriend told me not to. I was gonna go up to him a la Charles Barkley on The Cruise and say, you look like someone I work with, can we get a selfie? And then I was gonna talk bad things about him because he's a horrific dining room manager. Eastside Mario's on Winston Churchill, and it's in Mississauga. It's near the movie theater for those who know the area. Photo number 4, just a squirrel taking a little drinky by the Credit River where me and my dad take Pixie every day for a walk. He was thirsty. Wildlife photography. Remember the Baltimore Oriole that I messed up? I redeemed myself here. Okay? Finishing off photo number 5. This is the front of the building that I property manage, and it is a erotic spa. And let me tell you, if you're looking for a pretty lady to give you a rub down in more ways than one and you're arriving in a wheelchair, that first step is going to be a bitch, but it's wheelchair accessible. Guys, this has been 5 from the camera roll, and only from the camera roll. No hard drive. No hard drive, Lester. Hello.
We have a new champion as Hulk Hogan. History made, and the fans on their feet. Hulkamania is here.
Friends, I think we can all agree that Ray is a passionate man. Lester, would you agree? You're right. And he is still concerned over the way that Bob Bolus was treated by the council members. He wants to let the council members know a little history lesson. Okay? I don't need to say anything else. Lester?
Raymond Lyman, ridiculous. You calling me a liar? Well, I ain't gonna think about suing the city. Raymond Lyman, ridiculous. You calling me a liar? Well, I ain't gonna think about suing the city. I mean, you were supposed to be respected in office by elected officials, by the people, for the people. Not to think that you're dictators. I mean, 60 years ago, we got rid of Hitler. But yet, you think that you could boss a man like Bob Bolus because he asked you a question.
Friends, everything's in the can except for this. It's all I have to do, and then I'm done, and I can go home and edit this with my buddy Lester. Lester, have you eaten yet? Because we could possibly get a bite to eat and then head to the lab. Chinese? A man after my own heart. Guys, the only thing I have to do is the introduction to the Deep Cut Deep Dive. And coming up after the bumper will be one of, if not my favorite television program of all time. Hold on tight. Lester didn't know what clips to take from the Deep Cut Deep Dive, so instead Colin from Canada is singing over this bumper. I assure you, this is real. Friends, every week there always seems to be one segment that is difficult for me, where I perhaps draw a blank or I am running late in putting this together and I don't put enough time and thought into a certain segment. That segment this week would be the Deep Cut Deep Dive. We're not forsaking it this week, nor would I ever forsake a segment without pre-warning you, as I don't want medical emergencies to happen to my friends. I wouldn't do that to you. So about 9 seconds ago, I realized what I would talk about, and I'm about to start doing that right now. Debuting in 1957 and running until 1962, I speak of one of the greatest television programs in my mind. Whose mind? Colin from Canada's. This would probably, well, I say probably when it is in my top 5 television programs of all time. It's Leave It to Beaver. Let's cut the suspense. Leave It to Beaver. Tony Dow, Jerry Mathers, Hugh Beaumont, Barbara Billingsley, okay? Those are the main characters, but don't forget Gilbert. Don't forget Whitey, okay? Don't forget Larry Mondello, okay? Don't forget Lumpy Rutherford. Don't forget Eddie Haskell. Don't forget all the women that Tony Danza. Don't forget all the women that Tony Dow, aka Wally Cleaver, took to certain dances and dates with Eddie Haskell at home, saddened at the fact that he did not have a date. And he confided in young Theodore Cleaver at times. Okay, guys, I say it all the time, but if you know, you know. If you cherish is probably not the word, but if you look back on your childhood with fond memories and how special growing up was, you know how special Leave It to Beaver is, okay? Much like Stand By Me, you remember that? We did that last week or the week before. Again, when you're constantly churning out hourly, weekly programs, it sometimes melds together, but excuse me. Leave It to Beaver is in the same regards as Stand By Me for me. And it holds up, guys. It's 1957 to 1962, but it still holds up to this day. I just love the fact that Ward and June are the quintessential, nothing goes wrong, our lives are great, and Beaver just continually just does the dumbest things, and I think that's what makes it great. But for those of you who don't know Leave It to Beaver, the quintessential 1950s family consisting of brothers Wally and Theodore, aka the Beaver, and all the hijinks they get up to growing up. Wally is older, Beaver is younger, so different problems for different ages, but the friends they have and just the stuff they get up to, it still holds up to this day. And the wonderment that Theodore Cleaver has for being a kid is something every child should have. That's not dramatic comedy, that's just dramatic and it's dead serious, okay? It's Leave It to Beaver. It's available possibly somewhere. I have not researched that yet, but I'm going to throw it up in the edit where it's available, if it's free anywhere. If nothing is bouncing up, it's not free anywhere. But if it is, it's bouncing up right now. I don't know if it's free anywhere, but if it's not free, we know it's about to come. Throw that up. It's the email. I will send it to you. Might be a couple of discs, but I will send it to you. David, I still haven't got back to you, but I'm going to be emailing you tonight, and trust me, it's going to be worth it. You hang tight, buddy. It was David, right? Lester, I think it was. Lester's giving me the thumbs up. His name was David. David, I will be emailing you. I promise. That was this week's Deep Cut Deep Dive. Leave It to Beaver, guys. The best.
Wow, what a devastating shot that was.
Ladies and gentlemen, friends, folks, women, children first. The sailor goes down with the ship, and let me tell you, whenever the show goes down, I'm going down with it. But with the help and the intestinal fortitude of you, the legends, the viewers, the friends, this ship will never go down. Getting back on track. History has been made to the point where I wish I had some of the 10th or 20th anniversary decorative pieces available to put upon the wall. I have found a game show blooper that I have been searching 10 long years for. It is a Celebrity Family Feud episode from the 1980s hosted by Richard Dawson, pitting the cast of Lost in Space against the cast of Hawaiian Eye. And one Ponce Ponce, that's the actor's name. We're gonna see it in a second, and I'm just gonna tell you what the question was, and then you'll hear his response. Richard asks, name an evil you've never tried, but have considered trying. This was his response on national television, coming from a television star.
When things aren't going my way, I'm thinking pasta.
2,500.
Here's the VHS collection.
Your Construction Safety Association.
Okay, evil that I raping women. Can I try again?
I think you've offended enough people with that answer. Rape?
Oh, gee, that was a beautiful answer.
You may not have wanted to abdicate, but at home, at this moment, they're burning your throne.
Oh.
Friends, as I never know what to say during the Gorilla Monsoon Quote of the Week introduction, I'm going to take this time to say I'm testing the waters with the Driving with Colin segment. Casual long sleeve, 33 degrees out. I feel after the 2-week hiatus of live programming, original programming, we're gonna have the best of, like I told you about, for 2 weeks after this. When I return fresh and tanned from my camping excursion, I'll be coming with Driving with Colin, but we're not there yet. Guys, it's time for the Gorilla Monsoon Quote of the Week.
Did you see that? Couldn't see it from our vantage point. Will you stop? All kinds of pandemonium broken loose here.
Glad I retired.
Wow! Knife edge. Another karate move on the part of Ricky Steamboat, master of the martial arts.
Friends, this isn't the popcorn match. This isn't the time to get up from your seats and get refreshments or use the lavatory. We got a big match coming up. Stay where you are. Intro starts now. Lester? What's this? Delta Force Pizza. Delta Force Pizza. Friends, I am slowly moving to the right. Oh my God! Never took drama once in high school. Funny, right? Guys, I look at the tally count, as they say. Do they say tally count? Nobody says tally count. The voting is as such. 8 votes cast 4 for the Rowdy One and his tag team partner, Mr. T, and 4 for the Incredible Hulk Piggy Bank. Guys, as of filming, we are deadlocked. That does not mean when you are viewing this episode, we will still be deadlocked. We know how it goes. Usually we just know because there's an astronomical lead by the champion or challenger, usually the champion, and we've pretty much know who our new challenger is going to face. But in this case, we don't. So, here's the challenger. We don't know who the champion's going to be, and I'm going to put a little twist to this. Pay close attention. We haven't done men's toes yet. So, when we hit men's toes, it's a memento of sorts from my past. That sounds lame-o. It's going to be a triple threat match, if you know what I'm saying. The winner of Incredible Hulk, Roddy Piper, Mr. T, will take on the men's toes item and this week's item in a triple threat match that will last 2 weeks because I will be gone camping. So let's make something interesting. Is that interesting? Somewhat. So, Mr. T and Piper taking on the Hulk. The winner of that takes on these lovely items. Do you like the Muppets as much as I do? Probably not. But it's the Great Muppet Caper McDonald's cups. I'm sure they probably came in a set of 3. Not 2, but I had these as a youth, and I am now cherishing them even more. This is 1981, guys. It's also my favorite Muppet movie. For those of you who haven't seen it, may I just take a moment to let you know that New Zealand, we know about him, the man that throws the fish, has a commanding performance in this film to the point of tears by me. There's a segment where they have to break into an art gallery, and there's iron bars, and Kermit calls for the blowtorch, and Rolf the dog says, "Who said anything about a blowtorch?" That's a pretty spot-on impression. Then,
Who said anything about a blowtorch?
New Zealand comes over and said, "I got some paper towels."
I got some paper towels.
Okay? It's the Great Muppet Caper. We're gonna slowly turn that because I know you guys probably want to see the whole deal. Okay, and then the other one. Here we go. Not so detailed. I like the other one a bit better. And everyone's gonna yell because they know about McDonald's collectibles. I think there was 3 in the set. I don't think there would be 2, but maybe not. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure, but. That is your challenger. I know it's a weak challenger. I got to take some photos or maybe some video footage of the actual basement of my parents' house and how crazy all my crap is. It's all good junk, don't get me wrong. It's just, it's hard to get to stuff. So the stuff that's easily accessible, I grab. But we're gonna have to dive a little bit to find more items, which I will do. Just some weeks, they're not as amazing as a Rod Serling autograph, okay? Bear with me, guys. But as you know, I've already announced it. It's going to be a triple threat match for the next 2 weeks. We might actually get to 20 votes this time. The winner of Roddy Piper and Incredible Hulk Bank will take on the Muppet glasses from the Great Muppet Caper and McDonald's, as well as my item from the upcoming segment, Men's Toes.
You can see the scars of the wars on the face of Big John Studd that he's been in. Sure, there'll be plenty more down the line.
Friends, this is more of a off the top of my head. It's rare that I make myself laugh, but this whole thing is off the top of my head. So for me to start the segment by saying, this is just off the top of my head, is literally ludicrous, okay? All of this is off the top of my head. Guys, you know how it goes. This is all I have written down. Okay, intro, then you do the bumper, then you do the segment. Intro, then you do the bumper, then you do the segment. It's all I have written down. The rest is the magic that emanates from this cranium and slowly moves its way down out of my mouth hitting the mustache hairs that have grown over my lip. Bad maintenance by me. Clippity clap. Guys, it's time for the bloopers. And if that doesn't prove everything's off the top of my head, hello? Mustache hair. What am I doing? Gotta stop saying, What can I tell you? Try again, son. What am I deep in thought up in here? That's here nor there. You are actually laughing. Sit back or sit forward. More importantly, open your ears. There is nothing more illuminating to warm your affectionate side. Can you see my brain plowing through this? My brain has hit a roadblock. But let me tell you something, the coffee is still there. It finally came to me in a sudden. Hero, legend. Always that to the, let's say that a bunch of times. Halls of Westdale Mall. How are we doing? Legends, are we home? Just bombarded me by a wide margin of 0. Wow, man. I've taken my own words of wisdom and inputted them back into my brain at once, and put them back in my brain at once where they am. Where am I going? Friends, the shoulders of which a man has, the shoulders that a YouTube content creator, I'm talking backwards, the type of shoulders that, friends, I got mustache hairs all up in my face and all up in my mouth. Is that of a rough life? That didn't make sense. Let's rewatch that back again. Friends, before I regale you, right, woo-ha, mama, of us can agree that never has a debuting segment received more feedback that I haven't heard from anyone about than this one. Friends, you better believe it, we're back. And I've already forgot the name of the guy that he's mad that they kicked out. Lester loves it when I use the term barfing out. It's good, they love it. You guys love it, right? Barfing out. Have I told you? We will have from in Miss that mustache hair is really working its magic here. Come on in. Have a sit down. This is about the 7th time I've filmed The Welcome, and I hate them all. I love you guys though. Friends, let me show you something, folks. You want to see this? Look, what is that, 1982? That tape is probably from 1982. We're gonna fix it right now, party people. Scotch tape is garbage. It's peaceful, it's quiet. I can still be loud because that's just how I roll. Gorilla Monsoon clip of the week, quote of the week, not clip of the week. Haberdashery. No, what did I do? I have, here we go, let's try. Yes, don't like that. Guys, I didn't like that, but we're gonna keep it. I've already got enough bloopers, we're gonna keep that. Friends, no, we're not gonna keep it.
Adonis now going to the outside, going up, he's on the second turnbuckle, he's going all the way up to the top.
Friends, could I ever even think about doing 2 promos in 1 episode? The answer to that question prior to today would have been no. But upon looking at what segment I am about to introduce, that answer has changed to yes. 2 promos in 1 episode. The butt has to be comfortable before I begin. The brow is a bit warm. It's getting a little heated under this collar. What type of collar? Tight collar. The wheels, again, once more are in motion. And the volume and the tone is raising to another level and another tone. Guys, Queen Mother of Canada personally pulled me aside to ask if anybody was speaking about her segment. Were the women down at the beauty salon with the hair dryers upon their head, reading the latest Vogue and or Cosmopolitan, speaking between each other regarding Queen Mother of Canada, conversational Scottish? I had to say no. I will not lie to my mother. She again asked, what about the men down at Westdale Mall at the bar, talking amongst themselves, smoking their cigarettes and contemplating what type of smarts are left in their brain? They were smoking outside. You can't smoke inside. I had to tell her no once more. They too were not speaking of your segment. The commentators, the people who write comments, they could be called commentators. We're going to stick with it. Did they mention my segment? My segment meaning my mother, because I'm talking for my mother, the Queen Mother of Canada, conversational Scottish. Did they leave comments regarding the Queen Mother, conversational Scottish? I had to say no. Folks, do you know the threats, not threats, the requests that I am pouring out of my mouth in quite possibly the longest introduction to a segment ever, but I still push forward. We're not even touching the introduction to sponsor. That is always the longest, but we're getting there. We're nearing 3 minutes. But I know Mom's watching and she's proud of her son. To stick up for her, to let her know that I too think there should have been millions upon millions of comments regarding her debut segment, Queen Mother of Canada presents Conversational Scottish. Well, let's roll the dice again, and let's roll out the red carpet for Lynn Riddell, because here she comes again with part 2 in a long line of learning segments. Folks, we learn here. How dare I have to make a promo regarding your lack of response to a learning segment? It's time for the Queen Mother of Canada's Conversational Scottish.
Come in, lass. Dinner's ready. We're here Colin skinking neeps.
Friends, I've gone through the file cabinet that holds the mementos or men's toes that are part of my life and things that I don't want to lose. But yet I haven't looked at them in about 20 years. It's time to get into that now. Lester? Ladies and gentlemen, we're delving back into the men's toes. It's been a few episodes, but we are here again. And the item is right here, but we're going to take a moment to explain the item below. Everybody knows about dinner theater. You pay money to see a show and have a fine meal. I believe, if memory serves, you watch half of the show, have dinner, and then watch the second half of the show. I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. And there is a place that you can do such a thing here in Mississauga. I believe it's still there, called Stage West All-Suite Hotel and Theater Restaurant. And I went there in 1995. It's the nose with the Queen Mother of Canada, Lynn Riddell, and we took in a lovely production of the play entitled Harvey. The Big Wabbit. You know what I'm talking about. And who was the star of that very production? Don Knotts. Can we take a moment to talk about Don Knotts? Whether it be his many movies, his breakthrough character of Barney Fife on the Andy Griffith Show, or the ladies clear the way because a fashion trendsetter is about to walk into the Regal Beagle, and his name's Ralph Furley. Okay? Also, if you look up his early clips, I'll tell you what, I'll put it in the description. There's an early, I can't really put this anywhere, but actually I might be able to put it there. There, you get a shot of Don Knotts' forehead. Okay. There's an early clip of him doing a sketch of a nervous, I believe it's a baseball announcer, or I think it's a baseball announcer. It could be a weather guy. I'm not too sure, but I'm going to put it in the description. Unbelievable, the talent in the clip in the description of Don Knotts in some early sketch. I don't know what program it's from, but check it out in the description. Getting back to my point. This is the playbill from the Stage West All-Suite Hotel and Theater Restaurant, where we took in a theater production of Harvey. And if we look carefully, that is an authentic Don Knotts autograph. Didn't get it from him personally, but my mother made a big stink to our server about how much of a fan I was about Don Knotts, and she came by with 2 of these, and I gave the other one to this channel over here, who I went to elementary school and high school with. We mentioned him last week or the week before, I'm not too sure, but check it out. Bam, Freedom Sufferer cards. He has the other one, and I'm sure he still has it. So, he was phenomenal. If I could do the quick math, should I do the quick math? Guys, hold on while I do this on the fly. This was 1995, so Don Knotts was 71 when he did this play. Didn't miss a beat, didn't skip a line, was phenomenal. Saw him in the lobby and did not go up to him. One of the regrets I have because, you know, it's Don Knotts. Anyways, as mentioned earlier, this item will be in an upcoming, actually not upcoming, it's happening right now because you're watching this episode, so the poll's already up. But this time it's a triple threat match because I'm going to be away for 2 weeks. It's Don Knotts' autographed Stage West All-Suite Hotel and Theater Restaurant playbill from 1995 going up against the Great Muppet Caper glasses, along with the winner of Rowdy Roddy Piper and Mr. T against the Incredible Hulk Piggy Bank. TBD, to be determined. I know what time it is. So look for that, vote now. And yeah, that's one of my mementos or men's toes that I will still hang on to because it's pretty cool. It's a Don Knotts autograph. Come on, guys. It's Don Knotts, okay? Jack. All right. That was this week's installment, and hopefully it remains in 2 weeks, of Men's Toes.
I have certain goals in life I feel compelled to complete.
Very, very good.
One of which is becoming a circuit court judge.
Good.
Friends, the type of shoulders that I must have to withstand the trials and tribulations of sponsors coming in and out my door. I'm glad they came along. I dedicate this song to all the sponsors I've loved before. No, what I'm trying to say is the shoulders that I have to have on this program must be broad when it comes to the sponsors that come in and out of my life. But I can relax them now. They're at ease. They're not tense. We've spoke about this before, but it's a new page we're turning over in this area of the program, of course, when we get to the sponsor. When they're staying, when there is no threat that one day I will look and gone they will be. Knowing that the public service announcements, I'll say it again, are here to stay. Knock on wood, or what I think is wood. Guys, we're learning. We're being compensated. I'll go over it again. My compensation is your entertainment, your joy, laughter, tears, smiles, rage at my volume or my content or my babble, my verbal diarrhea, the ideas that I come up with to try and entertain you with a limited backdrop and a hell of a drywall. I've completely lost my train of thought. I have no idea where I am. Yes. Childhood wonderment of opening a birthday and or Christmas present. That feeling. The appearance of a gift you did not think you would receive, but have. That feeling. I'm going to go there. The idea that you know you have to vomit and are dreading the thought of vomiting because you're age 7. And the feeling you get after that vomit leaves your mouth. Relief. A hell of a bitter taste in your mouth, but it's over. Or so you think, and you vomit again. Now it's over. That feeling. A relief. Folks, what gives you relief more than the sight of what you just ate in a bucket beside your bed? That's what I'm feeling. There's barf in the bucket beside my bed. And I'm at ease because you're learning. And the connection we've made with the public service announcement remains. And as long as it remains, and you're learning, and there's a bucket of barf beside my bed, that's all I need.
You ever had India food?
Will you please stop?
Catch it.
The Empire of Taste. Will you please stop?
Catch it.
I am the spirit of dark and lonely water, ready to trap the unwary, the show-off, the fool. And this is the kind of place you'd expect to find me. But no one expects to find me here. It seems too ordinary. But that pool is deep. The boy is showing off. The bank is slippery. The show-offs are easy. But the unwary ones are easier still. This branch is weak, rotten. It'll never take his weight. Only a fool would ignore this. But there's one born every minute. Under the water there are traps. Old cars, bedsteads, weeds, hidden depths. It's the perfect place for an accident.
Oh, look, there's someone in the water. Quick, use that big stick to get him out.
Sensible children. I have no power over them.
Oi, mate, that's a stupid place to swim. Hey, go over and get that thing to wrap him in. You don't have to feel cold, mate. How long was you in there? Ew, what thing?
I'll be back.
Lester, you and I, together as one cohesive love unit, we've used that term before. It's been several episodes, so I'm calling it back into the rotation. Lester and I are a cohesive love unit, and we have brought to you another fine production of Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk. There's the burp, episode 26. But we have to bring this car into the garage, and shut the door, turn out the lights, light a candle. Haven't done that in a while. We're bringing that back into the rotation. You know what stays in the rotation weekly? Pushing forward. He knows, because both of us together as what? A cohesive love unit, push forward. Guys, it's time for the goodbyes. I think I've already mentioned it, but now we're going to say the goodbyes. Thank you for tuning in. If you are watching this right now, these words come out of my mouth. You are watching the entirety of this episode, and I thank you. It's those of you that are watching this far into 45 to 60 minutes of absolute nonsense. You're the guys and gals and the friends that I really appreciate. I appreciate everybody. But if you're really looking at this, I know you've been here for the long haul. I have to use the bathroom. Give me a second. Friends, I'm back. Where was I? Oh, that's right. The goodbyes. I'll be gone for 2 weeks, but like I mentioned earlier in the program, next week will be the best of compilation for episodes 1 all the way to 25, the greatest hits, okay? That will be debuting August 9th, which is a Saturday, and you know what? Let's make it 9 o'clock, okay? That's gonna go up there. Then the following week is the 16th, another Saturday, 9 p.m. That's gonna be bloopers, just bloopers from episodes 1 to 25, okay guys? Although I'm away, I'll still be in your hearts and minds and bodies. That's enough talk. I've talked a lot. Guys, Lester, back to me. The pepperettes are a firm $12. No. There is no haggling. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Die Paperrates seien steifig $12 ein Aufdinger.
A recognized symbol of excellence in
dramatic comedy.